about African women, climate justice and climate change, that we participate in something like Alliance for Women. That's right. So I need from you just a brief what this the role for Alliance and what this role of African, and if Egypt is including this or not.
Thank you again. Yes, we have launched last week here in Chairmanship the Global Alliance of Women from the South in Tenure and Climate. And this global alliance is made by all the women in the continent, on the three continents, Africa, Asia, and Latin America. This is the first ever global alliance on climate change that is set up by women, and we are aiming at advocating for climate justice with access, direct access of women to climate finance, also direct access security tenure for women, because right to land, right to forest, right to natural resources like water and all the rest. This is what we are aiming at. This is what we will be advocating for from now and upwards. We recall that last year in Glasgow, during the COP27, so many people, so many governments made the pledge to support gender equality. But till now, we don't know what had happened with those promises. So we would like to ask and to request this climate change conference here in Chairmanship, COP27, that the conclusion of this conference take into account the recommendation that those pledges that was made in COP26 should be turned into concrete action. They say that they will give 1 billion and 700 million of dollars to indigenous people and local communities. Where are we with that? The government of Canada said they are ready to put 80% of their budget on climate change to facilitate, to mainstream gender in all the programs. Where are we with that? The UK government also, even the US government and many other governments took that commitment. So we need this conference to ask those governments to make concrete the commitment they took. Yes, so that we have action on the ground. We have women accessing the funding. We have women improving what they are doing already to address climate change. And this alliance, I can assure you, Africa is the whole Africa. It's a continent. So every country in Africa is part of the alliance. Egypt is part of the alliance, and I would like you also to be the facilitator for the northern part of Africa into the alliance. I will come back to you on that, because we are planning the first forum of the alliance in early 2023. Thank you.
And all civil society here in Egyptian, and we have, by the way, Dr. Hanan. Please, if you can share us here, because Dr. Hanan is the representative for Aga Khan. It's one of the biggest international NGO, of course, and I appreciate to share us if you want to share us in discussion or asking. Hello, but what are you? Please, okay, yes. Okay, of course, Dr. Hanan, it's one of the biggest in civil society in Egypt, and also as a consultant, and they have a lot of experience in this field. And also we have also Mrs. Renee. It's an Coptic, one of the biggest Coptic NGO in Egypt, civil society. If you want to share our panel, it's okay, you can, because we are civil society, of course. Yes. So I think all appreciate to be as one of civil society of this global alliance, of course, yes, of course. So, and by the way, we have youth and gender equality, yes, yes, represented. So, Dr. Hanan, okay. give the speech for Dr. Hanan to represent what's the tackles or something like that in our issue today.
Thank you so much, Dr. May, and thank you for inviting me to this. This was not planned for, but I'm really happy. I will speak for a few minutes in English, just to express how much I appreciated what you have told us about your initiatives in Africa in general and the Alliance. I really liked it, and think and totally agree that the women of South should unify together and integrate all efforts and learn from each other. So definitely you're looking forward to see what we have been doing in Egypt. We are the same, and we are also looking forward to know from you and from exchange of experience later on and through Dr. May to learn exactly what we have done there. So definitely we will learn from. So thank you so much. Okay, I will continue. Allow me to speak in English because I want to integrate with what Cecil just mentioned. I'm echoing Dr. May, her welcome to the youth. This is our takeaways from this conference. This is exactly what is really promising, and we're looking forward to that you young people, youth, and you all young people to continue all the efforts and sustain our initiatives later on. The thing is that we have been doing lots of activities on the ground. We have initiatives on the ground, and we learn from each other. We focused on agriculture in Aswan, and Aga Khan focuses generally in Aswan. And right now we have linked climate resilience to food security. And we're also focusing on small-scale farmers, and we're also empowering them, and we try to do our best to enhance the productivity of the land. This is without adding additional stuff from outside. In addition to, we've involved the youth, university students of School of Agriculture and School of Social Work. We involved them in our activities, and the good thing about it that it's volunteering and thinking of the climate, paying attention and being considerate to climate, and pay attention to the negative impacts of climate change on young people and persons with disabilities, on women. It also became like part of the study of the curriculum of last year of the two schools. So we have prepared, and we will link together with you and with Dr. May. Dr. May has been really active on her initiatives and activities, and we really look forward to learn from you and cooperate and integrate together. When you're talking about leaders of the South, I think of Aswan, but actually there is still the map of Africa, and we could continue together. So thank you so much, Dr. May. Thank you so much, Cecil, and I'm really glad to what I've heard so far. Thank you.
ريني حابة تسألي على حاجة؟ I'll speak in Arabic because ريني yes. لو في أي شيء ريني ممكن تعرفي أكتر بنفسك وأنا هترجم. I'll translate.
أنا رينيم من الجمعية القبطية للرعاية الاجتماعية. بنشتغل في جمهورية مصر العربية كلها، في المجتمعات المهمشة والفقيرة. بقالنا سنين كتير قوي. أنا لوحدي بقالي 30 سنة. احنا بنختار المجتمعات لأفقر حاجة، يعني كل خدمات ما بتكونش واصلة لها كويس. كتير كنا بنعمل دراسات أولية للمجتمعات لو هنتكلم على مجال البيئة، وبعديها بننفذ أنشطة بناء على الاحتياج، وبعديها بنتابع، وبعد ما بننفذ بنشوف النتائج اللي احنا وصلنا. انا عارفه ان جمعيات كتير بتعمل زينا، لكن الفكره ان احنا كنا يعني حلو ان احنا نسمع من افريقيا هم بيعملوا ايه، ومن الجيد ان يكون بيننا وبينكم تواصل عشان نشوف الخبرات اللي احنا نتعلم منها، لان اكيد كل جمعيات بيبقى لها حلول مختلفه بافكار جديده من البيئه. انا كمان على مستوى مصر كنت بتمنى ان احنا يكون عندنا داتا على مستوى كل الجمعيات، يعني كل النتائج اللي بتطلع بدل ما نبتدي من الاول المفروض كلنا نبتدي ونكمل فوق بعض، فدي كانت من الحاجات اللي ضروريه نكون عندنا. دي نقطه. النقطه الثانيه ان يعني احنا في مصر وبرده مع افريقيا حلو ان احنا يكون عندنا لقاءات على الميديا، نقدر نتواصل، نقدر نشوف ايه الجديد، ايه اللي نعمله. يعني هنا مثلا في النماذج، احنا مثلا في البايوجاز كنا بنعمل النموذج الهندي، هنا لقيت اكتر من نموذج. هنا مصر متبنيه النموذج الهندي، واحنا بنتعامل مع وزاره الطاقه الحيويه دكتور وائل هو النموذج الهندي. طب احنا مهم ان مصر مثلا تعرفنا ايه اللي نتعلم عشان نشوف ايه اللي يناسب كل مجتمع، بيخضع لايه، كل ده. احنا يبدو ان احنا في حاجات كتير قوي لازم نقعد ونتفق عليها علشان نقدم احسن لبلادنا وللقاره الافريقيه كلها. فده كنت اتمنى ان احنا نقدر نوصل للجزئيه دي.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. For myself, we as an, you know me from previous one, and also you know me, but in brief, we are working since 10 years on women and youth for unemployment, for vocational training, and of course for climate awareness with youth as an entrepreneur or as an women entrepreneurs for climate change. Also, we are working with women in the urban villages or in the countries. We are working all over Egypt, but only we are focusing on Giza because this is our official legal papers. Also, we are working as a rights for women and youth, and we are one of the Analand network, one of the NGOs registered in Analand, and in the also chapters in African chapter in Egypt. We are member in this as an NGO. Here we sharing, focusing on this year especially for all issues specific on climate change with Ministry of Youth and Sport and Women Council also. And we are member of Badja, you know, Badja is an African, and this is before we met. And hoping inshallah in future to be coordinate for civil society, maybe your idea as a global and one of it to be members of the NGO in Egypt or whatever the area that we are focusing on it. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's summarize what we are saying, that our recommendations, just we click, I think you summarize the 3 main points: finance and participation and advocacy. This is what you need for the future and mainly after COP that you need, and your recommendations for future.
Link together, integrate with each other, learn from our experiences. Definitely there are very successful initiatives in Africa that we can learn from Cecil and from your activities after May, and we will also share our experience and from the experience of public NGO, because we have been long time working this before anybody else works. So let us link together and integrate our experience and share the information and learning.
عندك أي توصية حابة مستقبلية تقوليها برضو؟ The same. It's the same. Yes. It's the same. Dr. Hanan said that we have to link it together for the future. I think all of us we need for to know this issue, African civil society challenge and threats for supporting climate justice solutions. So in order to support, I think we have to collaborate on the same issue, on the same platform, or in order to advocacy and to help our countries, as you said. Thank you so much, Cecil, and sorry for our panels that excuse in the other events because there's a lot side events. And thank you so much and welcome in Egypt, and thank you so much for Dr. Hanan and Renee and for our youth because they are sharing other events. So can take a photo. Thank you so much for Mr. Adam supporting and for you, of course. Thank you so much.
I have a question to Mr.
Sorry?
Question.
Question, yeah? You have a question? Yes, of course.
Hi, Dr. Rasilis. Thank you very much for My name is Ali Isman. I'm volunteer at COP27. From where? From Sudan. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for the presentation. It's informative. I guess I have a question about civil society in less developed countries or in Sudan exactly. The civil society, all the organizations that they're facing challenge. Exactly. You mentioned finance and that we need climate finance to adapt to climate change. I think one of the problems that the civil society that facing it's like the technical experience, like writing reports or to call for to have to for the projects that to tackle the climate change. Are we facing this problem, and how could we be like have the civil society that have an experience in writing reports and to know more about how could they write a real project that make them to have a fund from the developed countries? And thank you very much for it.
Dr. Abel arrived, so we are going through the session the same. We are not summarized.
Okay, thank you for the great question. Yesterday I was in another event and I mentioned the importance of mobilizing resources to build the capacities of local communities, of women, indigenous women, local women, and Afro-descended women. I think it's the same with civil society, some civil society organization, because it looks like our partners want the ready-made organization, but they have to mobilize and know that they need the resources to build the capacities. If you have to report on your activities, on your project, you need to know how the report should be, and they should teach you, they should train you on that. It's a training. They train you, they show you how you have to do that, because every partner, financial partner, has their own expectations, their own direction, their own guidance. So what is needed is training, supporting the capacities, building the capacities of civil society to be at the stage where they need them to be. If it is reporting techniques, they have to train you in the reporting techniques, because we have those who know how to do that. If it's the financial reporting, they have to support you, they have to train you in how to carry out the financial reporting. So I think the problem is that they think that they have to give you a fund for activities on the ground, but they forget that you yourself as an NGO, as a civil society organization, you need also to be strengthened in your capacities to do things very well. So what is needed is just mobilizing resources to build the capacities of those civil society organizations, the young organizations that are coming, that are being created, need all that support, and we should provide that to help them to grow up. In 5 years, 10 years, they will become big organizations. So that's what I think we might be advocating for. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Welcome, Dr. Ibal. ازي حضرتك؟ Dr. Ibal is one of the leading in development. Yes, Viora. Yes, yesterday. Yes. بالعربي حضرتك عايزة
ويلكم كايرو. الحقيقة أنا بهني الدكتورة مي التلاوي على المبادرة الرائعة بعمل نوع من التحالف أو الشبكة لتبادل الخبرات بين المرأة في مصر والمرأة الأفريقية. لأن هناك تشابه كبير في التحديات وفي الظروف وأحيانا في الثقافة. يعني هناك دراسات علمية كثيرة أثبتت أن المرأة تعاني وتواجه كثير من التحديات، وأن آثار المناخ آثار غير عادلة على حساب المرأة عموما في كل البلدان وخاصة الدول الأفريقية. المرأة أكثر تأثيرا وتأثرا بالتغير المناخي، وبالتالي أفكركم بالمرأة في نيبال عندما ربطت نفسها بالأشجار لتمنع في 1906 عشان تمنع قطع الأشجار في نيبال. المرأة هي التي تبث القيم وتعلم أولادها والمجتمع، خاصة عندما نستثمرها كقيادة. فبالتالي نحن نطالب ليس فقط ببناء وعي المرأة المصرية أو الأفريقية، ولكننا نطالب بتضمينها في سياسات اتخاذ القرار. ولنا تجارب عديدة عندما كانت في اللجان المحلية للتنبؤ المبكر وفي لجان مواجهة الكوارث. قريت الحقيقة تجارب دول أخرى كثيرة عندما شملت ودمجت المرأة في مواقع اتخاذ القرار كان التأثير غير عادي، وقللت جدا من آثار التغير المناخي على المجتمع ككل وليس على المرأة في حد ذاتها. نطالب أيضا بتفعيل القانون، تفعيل المطلب 1325 بالمرأة والسلام الأمم المتحدة التي نطالب بها، لأنه السلام أو التغير المناخي جزء من بناء السلام في العالم. أننا يعني كنساء على المستوى العالمي وعلى مستوى أفريقيا بالتحديد سيكون لنا دور كبير، ونحن من هنا نشكر الدكتورة مايا مرسي التي طالبت في يوم الجندر يوم 14 نوفمبر بأن يكون دمج المرأة وتمويل المرأة في جميع محاور ال11 محور في التغير المناخي، وليس فقط تمويل خاص بها كجندر ولكن في ال11 محور. وطبعا هذا القرار ليس تحيزا للمرأة ولكن للفجوة المعروفة طبقا لكل الدراسات ولقدرة المرأة على التأثير في التغير المناخي وأثاره. ومعنا يعني قيادات في متخصصة في العلوم الزراعية والبيئية. ونكمل بالتالي اللقاء اللي جاي نكمل الموضوع عشان المفروض الساعة 5 عندنا، إلا إذا كنت تحب تقودي الفلور يعني.
طيب لا خلاص احنا اوريدي، احنا بس كنا بنحب نرحب بحضرتك على البانل في السيشن بتاعتنا عشان كنا منتظرين. في النهايه thank you Cecil so much and for our session and thank you for all of you. شكرا لحضراتكم وللحضور الكريم. بشكركم جدا وميرسي لحضراتكم. وبليز